Good morning, Magic the Gathering fans. Welcome back to a single-player deck tech. About a year ago, I came up with a one-player format, kind of a solitaire version of Magic the Gathering, where you could play with 100 life points as your imaginary opponent and a deck of cards made of Magic the Gathering cards, and see if you could do 100 points of damage before you run out of cards in your deck. For that setup, I was using a 40-card deck, and it was a fairly aggressive red-green burn deck. And so for this version of the deck, I thought I would try a little bit more challenging deck. I brought out my old school GP Vegas 2019 Championship playmat and my 1996 World Championship White Weenie deck, piloted by Tom Chen Fang at the 96 World Championships of Magic the Gathering. It uses White Weenie creatures like Savannah Lions and Swords to Plowshares to eliminate their creatures, and land tax to find lands in your deck. It was using 15 copies of basic planes, but we made the addition to this deck to include the 4 copies of Adarkar Wastes that were omitted in that build. So we're gonna see if the revised deck list, including the 4 copies of Adarkar Wastes, makes a difference, and if White Weenie can withstand the single player test. If you're gonna play solitaire, you can also just try this on your own if you wanna play Magic the Gathering and learn how the cards function. I'm not sure if all the cards in this deck will actually be useful, since we don't have an opponent. A lot of the spells and counter spells won't have any interaction with something that the opponent is doing. But you'll get the idea, and if we just run into a card that doesn't work so well, we'll just kind of throw it in the graveyard and pretend that it didn't help us out in that setup. So I think we're about ready. I'm making sure these are fairly shuffled. I could do pile shuffling to make sure that they are all shuffled, but this should probably work pretty well for demonstration purposes. Let me know in the comments if you tried the one-player single-player Magic the Gathering format I came up with a year ago, and if you'd make any tweaks to it, make those suggestions in the comments below. In the description, I will link to the original single-player Magic the Gathering video if you want to see how it went down last year when I tried single-player Magic for the first time. All right, so cut. Now let's just draw 7 cards and see what we get on our opening hand. We have a number of 6-sided dice plus a 20-sided dice. These are set to the number 5 for easy math, and they add up to 100. So this would be our opening 7. We have Plains, 2 Strip Mines, Reprisal, buries target creature with power 4 or greater, Sarah Angel, flying attack. We do have an Adarkar Waste and Order of Leaper. So we're gonna start by playing a Plains on our opening hand, and we're gonna pass the turn to our opponent. Let's put our lands down. Lands in front? No, let's put lands down here. Okay, 6 cards left. We pass. We draw a card on our next turn. Let's play another lands. We're gonna play this Adarkar Waste. It adds colorless mana to our mana pool without doing damage, or we can add white or blue by taking a damage. And in this format, we don't lose any life. We just have infinite life. So if there's a card that does damage to us, we just ignore it, and we just concentrate on trying to do 100 points of damage to our opponent. So I can play 2, I could take a damage and play a white card. I think I'm gonna do that. We have Order of Leaper or Order of the White Shield, which are essentially the same card. They're both 2/1. This one's a Clerics, this one's a Knight. They both have protection from black, and they're 2/1. So we'll tap Plains for white, we'll tap Adarkar Waste for white, take a damage, doesn't hurt us. So let's play Order of Leaper first. It is a 2/1 Clerics with protection from black, and it gains, for 2 white, it'll gain +1 till the end of turn. I will pass the turn, my friend, and then let them take a turn, and then I'll draw a card. I drew a Plains, which is perfect. I'll play that Plains. I'm going to tap 2 Plains, and I'll play another order. Another order, but this is the Order of the White Shield. I'll move to combat. I'll do 2 damage. So I'm going to take this dice down to a 3 here, Now this player, the imaginary opponent, is at 98. I have 2 strip mines that I can play for. They also tap for colorless mana, so pretty soon I'll be able to cast a Serra Angel. Then I will pass the turn. Then on my next turn, I will untap, draw a card. And we got Sleight of Mind, which we can actually play because we have the Darkar Waste. It changes the text of any spell or permanent by replacing all instances of one color word with another. So I could change protection from black to protection from white if the opponent was particularly on a color that we knew about. So I'll play a Strip Mine over here, so I can play up to 4 mana this time. I think I'm just going to tap 2 white. I'm going to pump one of these orders. I'm going to give this one a 3/1, so I'm going to attack for 5 damage and take away one of these dice. That worked out pretty good, and then I will pass the turn. Then I will take my turn and untap everything, draw a card. I now have another order of the white shield. That's pretty good. I can tap 2 white. I can play that, and I think I will just attack for 4 this time without pumping it because I only have 2 colorless mana left. So I'll attack for 4. I'll do 4 damage to the opponent, and then pass the turn. I guess. Yep. I mean, I could have played another land. Don't know if that'll help. I'll untap. I'll draw. Mishra's Factory is great. Taps for colorless. I can also create a 2/2 assembly worker. And I think I'm going to play that this turn. And then I will tap 2 white. I'm going to pump one of these orders to make it a 3/1. And then I'm going to move to combat, and I'm going to swing for 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. So I'm going to take away 4 plus 3. This will be at 2. And it seems to be working just like we drew it up. All right. So then we'll go to the next turn. We'll untap, draw for turn. Another Mishra's Factory. That's great. We'll play the Mishra's Factory. We could now cast Serra Angel. We can also pump one of these. We can also activate Mishra's Factory. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll tap 2 white. We're going to pump this order, make it a 3/1. We're also going to tap a Darkar Waste for colorless. We're going to activate Mishra's Factory, make it a 2/2 artifact creature, and we're going to attack with the team. So we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 because we pumped it. So we'll take away 7 and 2 more. Awesome. And we only have 2 mana left, so we cannot cast Serra Angel, but we'll move to the next turn and see what we can do. Untap our orders, put Mishra's Factory back here, and then do I have, if I needed to, if my opponent was running Library of Alexandria or something crazy, we could strip mine their library. But see what we draw on this turn here. Now we have Plains, that's pretty good. Plains is better than strip mine in this situation. So we're going to play our 3rd Plains of the game. We are going to tap 2 Plains. We're going to activate this order, pump this order of Leaper to make it a 3/1. We're going to attack with these 2 orders. We're also going to tap 2 colorless and activate 2 Mishra's Factories and attack those for 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 damage. So I'm going to dial the spin down from 20 down to 9, taking 11 damage that turn. That did pretty good. And then eventually we're going to cast Serra Angel and start swinging over the top for 4. I'll untap and draw. Next turn. All right, we got another Plains. Let's play that. We have 4 Plains now, and I think we have all 3 artworks represented on the board. They do connect in a panorama. I think it's this order. So if you look at that, that kind of makes a panoramic plains there. And then the 4th one is the snow-covered plains that we're not playing in this deck, but that makes that. So let's go ahead, and I think we can cast Serra Angel finally. So let's tap 2 white, 1, 2, and 3 colorless to cast our Serra Angel. We can tap these 2 white to pump this Order of Leaper, and we're out of mana, so we can't do anything with the Mishra's Factory this turn. But we can swing with the other orders of the white shields, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll make this a 2. We're getting down there. So it is really, this deck is really working. I like how it functions in single player. I might try this with my old school friends and see how it functions in like a old school tournament. We have one coming up in a couple of weekends. So check back to see how this deck does. Maybe I'll do some live action videos of this deck in action. Let's see how it does. Let's play the strip mine now. So now we can play 2 strip. We have 2 strip mines, which give us colorless mana. We could also cast Reprisal or play Sleight of Mind if we needed to change something. I'm gonna go ahead and tap 2 white, 2 more white to make these +1/+1. So those are 3/1 creatures. I can tap a Darkar Waste and a Strip Mine for colorless to pump the 2 Mishra's Factories and make those assembly workers. And then we'll swing with Sarah Angel. She has Vigilance, so she does not need to attack. And this Order of Leaper. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 damage. So we're going to take away 10, 15, 16. There we go. 3 cards left. We haven't seen any Shivan. There's no Shivans in this deck. We haven't seen any Savannah Lions yet, is what I was going to say. But so far, I like this deck. A Darkar Waste, I think, is really useful, especially if we want to play the Sleight of Mind. If we were playing an opponent that was playing mono black, we'd be covered. But if we were playing a Goblins deck, we'd want to change this to red. Let's draw a card now and see what we get. We got another Plains. Take that. So now we have a number of mana sources. Let's tap Strip Mines, activate the factories. We'll tap 1, 2, 3, 4 white, 5, and 6. Actually, we have enough white mana to pump all 3 of these and make them all 3/1s. So we're going to swing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and we'll do 17 damage. So we'll take away 7 life here and 10 more, 17. All right, so now the opponent is down to 22 life. I think we'll probably get there in 1 or 2 more turns. We're tapped out. Let's untap and go to probably our penultimate turn here. This deck is doing really good. I like it a lot. Let me know if you like it as well in the comments, or if there's any other decks you'd like to see on single player Magic the Gathering. We drew a Darkar Waste. Awesome. Let's play a Darkar Waste number 2. Maybe make a thumbnail for the let's do a screenshot real quick. How about that? Beautiful. Single player Magic, just like that. All right, let's play the Darkar Wastes. We're gonna pump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white. Take a damage from the Darkar Waste, but it doesn't affect us. To make all the orders 3/1 creatures, that's 9 plus 4 is 13 damage, if I did it correctly. Now, we can also tap the 2 Strip Mines, activate the 2 factories, make those 2 2s. So we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 damage once again. So that brings our opponent down to 5 life. They have 1 turn. We can also, next turn, maybe cast Reprisal and Sleight of Mind. Sure, why not? Just because we can, let's do it. All right, for the last turn, we're going to untap everything. We're going to draw our last card. We drew a Savannah Lions. Fantastic. We're going to play this Strip Mine. We're going to tap a Darkar Waste for blue, take a damage. We're going to change the text of target spell or permanence by replacing instance of one color with another. So we're gonna say, let's say black to red. Maybe our opponent is on a goblin deck, so we'll gain protection from red when we attack this time. Let's go ahead and tap 2 Strip Mines to activate our Mishra's Factories. And then let's tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white to pump all of the orders up 1. So 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 4 in the air, 2, 2, and 2, 2 on the ground. Plus we have 1 strip mine left, which we can sacrifice to destroy their land. We won't be able to play Savannah Lions. We don't need to play Reprisal this turn. If we did, it would also bury the Sarah Angel, so maybe Reprisal isn't so good against on our side. But we're gonna move to combat, swing with the team, 4 in the air, 4 on the ground, plus another 9, I believe is 17 again. Yes, they're only at 5, so that did it pretty effectively. We had 2 cards in hand and still a good, 30, 40 cards in the library. So I'm gonna say that single player format works with mono white weenie splashing a little blue for sleight of mind. In the comments, let me know what you think about this tutorial. I will also link the original single player Magic video if you want to see what I did a year ago, and I'll also put the deck tech of the 96 World Championship deck if you want to see what each of these cards does in that deck. I appreciate all of the likes, comments, and subscriptions. Stay tuned for more Magic content. I'll see you in the next video.